Hey, just a quick video. Minnesota implement snow plows. I have a client that wants to add ballast weight to the front of their plow. In their particular case, it's primarily for the purpose of driving the machine up a very steep hill. They've got a steep enough hill that the machine's trying to tip over backward as they go up the hill. So they want to add ballast to the plow. Now, when you're adding weight to a plow, a lot of folks will add weight to the plow in order to give it more down pressure. And typically, the easiest way to add down pressure to a plow is to add another cutting edge. You just double layer your cutting edge, because those cutting edges, let's say this is an 8.5-foot plow, that cutting edge is probably 150 pounds. So you just bolt a second cutting edge over the top of your first. And obviously the problem is, as you can see, the cutting edge does have a back angle to it. If you've got a second cutting edge on there, it's going to take a little while for it to wear in so that you don't have a ramp per se against the ground. But once it wears in, then you've got twice the longevity, because your cutting edge will be twice as thick. So in general, adding a cutting edge is the easiest and best way to add weight to a plow. One of the main reasons that is the easiest and best is it puts your weight the furthest out from the machine. It puts your weight on the blade, not on the machine. So depending on what you're trying to accomplish, if you're trying to scrape ice, adding the weight to the blade works the best. But the other thing you end up with, I have had some clients that will put weights up in this area of the plow, and that was what this client is recommending. What happens when you put the plates or weight on the back of the plow above your hinge point, because this is a trip blade plow, the whole blade moves, is it changes the gravity of the plow. So when the plow has to move on its suspension, basically, and move on these springs, that weight being above the hinge point means that if the plow flops down, that weight is now holding the plow down, and it doesn't tend to reset very easy. And then also, when the plow does reset, it already kind of snaps back, and if you've got weights on there, they act like a hammer. And they will crack out the welds or blow the counterweights off the back of it and crack your skin. So those are all things you want to avoid, is putting weights above your hinge point on the backboard of the plow, because that, like I say, the gravity of the weight in motion when the plow is moving on its suspension tends to be a problem. Now, on this particular plow, we would have the option of possibly in this area here above the feet putting a weight, but it would have to be low, and obviously that might interfere with our foot pocket. We can't really go in this space here in line with the hinge, because that may, if they got too big, it could interfere with the clearances, especially on the other side with the hydraulic cylinder over here. But if the general purpose is to add weight to the unit just to make the unit weigh more on the front tires of the machine, we do have a bit of a gap inside of the faceplate. You can really see it from the other side here. There's this inset behind this plate between that bar and there that is 2-inch deep by 11-inch tall by about 15 inches long. So if we moved our hydraulic valve and put insert plates inside of the faceplate, that would be the best place to put the weights, where it wouldn't interfere with any of the mechanism and wouldn't change the design of our plow. So we could create some sort of either rail system or a box in there and put some weights inside of the faceplate, and that would help increase the basic weight of the unit on the front of the machine. Now, obviously, you don't have the distance from your front tires for that weight, so you're not going to get quite the 50 pounds or 100 pounds isn't going to make the mass impact at the faceplate that it would out 42 inches on the backboard of the plow. but we avoid messing up any of the mechanisms not functioning properly or shortening the life of the plow. But in general, the best thing to do would be just add another cutting edge on the front of it, because you gain 150 pounds below the center of gravity, below the trip hinge points, and you don't affect the geometry of the plow that way or shorten the plow's life. We're a Minnesota implement. This is one of the things we do, is try to work with our clients to get the product that they need working as they need it to. Now, obviously, if we're also looking at adding weight, the other thing we could do, if you want your plow to be stupidly heavy all the time, we could fill all of these tubes with concrete before we weld them. So if you're looking to just add ballast overall, filling the tubes with concrete may be an option as well. It makes our job a little harder, but it may be an option to add another 100 pounds or so to the unit. We're Minnesota Implement. Another long rambling video, but thank you for watching.